Hello everybody, this is Brandon Jones and welcome to the first episode of Trailer Jones. I am joined by Mr. Kyle Bosman.
I love trailers.
And Mr. Daniel Bloodworth.
I love trailers.
Trailer Jones is brought to you by Hogue Law, business law firm, who you can find at www.hoaglaw.com. And we are here to watch one trailer for the first episode. We are going to be watching the Starcraft Remastered trailer entitled We Are Under Attack. An excellent suggestion from Kyle Bosman. Kyle, what jumps at you about this trailer? Why did you suggest it?
Remasters don't technically get this kind of budget.
This is
for a
true.
trailer.
I think that's going to be my major theme going through the discussion of this trailer.
Right.
It's just like, wow, there's nothing that Blizzard won't throw huge amounts of money at when it comes to their trailers. This is a game that already came out, that already got a release, but is now getting an extremely epic trailer, so let's jump into it. Okay, so we open with the least Starcraft of anything, a man on the beach playing with his dog. Kind of get a Superman vibe. And then
because of how handsome he is?
The goo.
He's just a very dapper man. He's very put together.
Sure.
And then, of course,
The reveal.
we stand in opposition of that, which is all of these eggs down on the beach. And I think one of the confusing things about this, if I'm not a fan, if I'm experiencing StarCraft for the first time, I'm immediately thinking like, oh, they're doing a live-action version of that thing that happened in the game when, the Protoss and all of these people attacked Earth. Well, obviously this didn't happen. Obviously Earth is not in this lore. This is like way, 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 way far in the future. Do you think that's a potential problem? To be confusing new fans as far as like what the world of StarCraft is about?
I think maybe a little bit. It is a bit strange, as you said, to be starting with the guy on the beach and like, what is actually happening here? I do like that they show a good variety of different things, though. Like every shot is something kind of different.
I mean, it's the point of the trailer is that people are happy because you see this scene so many times in film. You know, it's like Independence Day, like and all the other UFO invasion films since, and so. It's kind of an interesting twist at the end that, like, no, they're actually happy that there's an alien invasion. Because
well, these people aren't happy. These people are running for their lives right now.
Because they just don't know yet. You know what I mean? Like, this guy, see, this guy knows. This guy's tuned in. Everyone's confused. They think they're happy, but they're not quite sure. But you got this guy at the end. Okay, it's StarCraft is here again. I got it. I understand what the craze is. I think that's, like, the ultimate message to be taken away from this trailer. Am I wrong? Are there any other major themes here other than, like, yes, StarCraft?
No, that's the theme, and it's nostalgia as well. I think there's a lot of little nostalgia plays in here, and I think we're supposed to look at these things and have memories of the times that we played StarCraft and feel good about them.
I do think that insert shot of the hands is kind of bad. I don't know why.
Blood, it's super bad, because for him to get that gross, he'd have to pick up the ball and then slather it around on himself to get that gooey. That's dumb. It was a dumb shot, for sure.
Does the trailer take itself too seriously? Should we have a little more fun with that? We don't really have fun until the end.
So yeah, Jones, that's what I wanted to talk about primarily is tone. I think the tone on this trailer is off.
Yeah.
I don't think it's fun.
I think the most fun we have is when we see the guys in the land center. When we see them playing and then come outside. It's like, okay, yeah, like we're going to actually acknowledge what this is. But then it's back to super drama.
Because the lady turning around with her hair flying around, like, I think that's funny. That's funny, right? Like, her with the hair. Like, that's a Michael Bay joke, right? You know, like, just this, like, just playing on this moment of all these people, like, seeing the UFOs coming in. It feels like a parody of that. And
Maybe, Jones. Because the way those two shots are cut, actually, is she's looking toward the camera, and then it's not actually implied that we moved around the camera. It's implied that the next shot we see is of the phone. And the way those two are cut to like back to back, it's kind of implied that like she's looking behind her and then looking forward. I don't know if that's played for comedy, dude. Did you laugh at that part?
I think that's hilarious. Well, just the hair, just specifically her big like Pantene, like look at my curls, like I don't know. It gets me. And this is the divisiveness that I have with this trailer is like, I can't help but think specifically the guy in the cab. I can't help
Sure.
but think that every time we meet a new person, it's almost like, I mean, I don't know if this is Blizzard saying this, but it's almost like the trailer saying, like, this person could now be a StarCraft fan. Like, this person might not understand what's going on. It might be kind of confused. Like, why is everybody talking about StarCraft again? Why is esports embracing StarCraft again? You know, like, why are all these hopeful things happening that give you that vibe that, like, this is a franchise big enough to take over the world? And so it's kind of this invitation to, like, hey, you cab driver, maybe you've never played video games before, but you should give StarCraft a try, you know? It's an old game, but it's got modern sensibilities, and like this might be your perfect chance to, like, jump in and play StarCraft. But then at the same time, at the end of the trailer, I kind of get the vibe that they're like, you know what? Everybody who's a StarCraft fan is going to enjoy the fact that StarCraft is coming back, and everyone else is just going to be super confused. Like, what's the message here? Is it that everyone should try this, or is it that we have this wonderful thing that it has just kind of dominated this planet that only we will understand? What is to be celebrated here?
I don't think it's an inviting trailer. I think you're right.
Yeah.
And I don't think it wants to be. I don't think that's its goal at all.
Like, that lady's going to be on that plane terrified, and we're going to be cracking up online, doing our co-op modes.
Yeah, that's the thing too. I thought the voice clips when she's looking out the window were, like, really low compared to the music. Music is so high right there, and that voice is just competing. And I think it's one of those things where it's like you have to already know it. You have to recognize it.
Yeah, they're all little Easter eggs for people who already love StarCraft, for sure.
And then, yeah, and again, not being able to, you know, if you don't know what language the guy at the end is speaking, you're just lost at what that conclusion is.
I love StarCraft. I picked it up with Wings of Liberty. It was the first StarCraft game that I played, but I was familiar with the lore and loved Wings of Liberty so much I went back and played all of the original game, including, you know, the expansion. Is this something you share as a StarCraft fan? I mean, I'm sure it excites you and you enjoy it, but, like, would you make sure other StarCraft fans you know saw this trailer, or would you just kind of snicker and move on?
Yes.
I guess that's my ultimate score at the end of the day, is, like, how powerful is this, how impactful is this on a StarCraft fan? Because I don't see it selling that much to someone who's not. Not this trailer in particular.
So you're saying because the intent isn't to be a broad audience, that you're kind of rating it against that?
Because we haven't talked about the, because we haven't, well, not necessarily that, but just the effectiveness of it. Yeah, at the end of the day, like, who shares this? You know? Because if I'm not a StarCraft fan, it doesn't mean anything to me. If I am a StarCraft fan, this is not the trailer that's going to, like, sell me on the remake. It's just kind of, it seems like a parody to me. Like, the more I watch it, the funnier it is.
I don't think it's trying to be parody.
Yeah, and I think that's really, I think we got to rate it that way,
God,
Jones.
maybe that's a miss, yeah. But it's so pretty.
It is. But, like, think of that beginning. Think of the way this starts with that guy and his dog. It doesn't seem funny. It doesn't seem like intentional parody.
Like, that guy's going to die, right? You know what I mean? Like, in this weird world, like, that guy and his dog, like, those eggs are going to hatch, like, pretty soon. I mean, maybe StarCraft is, like, a representation of an extended period of time, but, like, your eggs don't just sit there forever. Like, they're, you know, those are battle-ready troops. And so, you know, things aren't going to work well for that guy. I'm assuming he lives close. He walked here, you know. Maybe he drove to the beach with his dog. I don't know.
Well, the second thing we see is the crashed, I forget what they're called, the Terran destroyers, the huge airships. Mm-hmm. And they've been there for a long time. And that's really and like that, I really thought we were going in that direction in this trailer. We're not. Everything else is just coming. And so it's super weird to me that, like, that's the second thing they chose to show.
That's an excellent point. Yeah, the passage of time is kind of confusing. Where at the end you see all the ships show up, and it's like, why aren't they here already? Like,
and they've been here for a long. Like, why show that shot? And to me, it's like a lack of direction. To me, it's like a lack of idea of what the story you're trying to tell is.
Sure.
Having them crashed doesn't say they're back. It means they've always been here. I get that, but then you don't communicate that for the rest of this trailer.
This trailer impressed me. This trailer was more than I thought it was going to be. The production values are higher. The clear, like, this theme, like, this is clearly an idea that, like, I think Blood brought up a great point. There's a lot going on here. We see a lot. We go all over the world, so it's great having an international vibe and just kind of showing that, like, this is a franchise that affects everybody. If you're an Activision, if you're a Blizzard, like, yeah, that's the message, obviously, that you always want to have, is that, like, we are a big deal. But this is a 7.5. This, to me, this is just kind of like a really average trailer, really, at the end of the day, because the more I watch it, the less impact it has on me, and I wouldn't say it really got me excited at all for the StarCraft remaster, and I am extremely excited for it. So it is kind of a weird little trailer. in that way.
Yeah, I kind of have some of the same sentiments. You know, as someone who's not as familiar with StarCraft, I mean, I'm familiar with it, but I haven't like put any real time in. It's one of these things where like I feel like there's this big buildup, and then it's just okay, it's over, and it's a weird note to me that it sort of ends on. It's like, all right, everything's invaded, everything's invading, and now they're here, and it's like it takes a couple rewatches to like realize like, oh, okay, those are the different factions coming together at the end.
Yeah. Give me a number, Blood.
Oh, I'd say 7.
Oh. I have a feeling Bosman's going to be harsh, but he might turn it around.
No. I'm going to 6 on this one.
Okay.
So I like the international aspect a lot. I like selling that StarCraft is not just doesn't just belong to the U.S. Though I think we just see U.S. and Korea, right? There's so many dumb things about it though, and the idea that like. Just look at this. Look at when it's like the news and we're escalating. We see it on TV, and then we see it in this shop, right? Or sorry, this restaurant, and people are pointing at it and shouting. And then you see it on a newspaper. That's the escalation. It's like here, and then on the news, and then in a restaurant, and then on a newspaper. Flop. Like that's the bad. That's not escalation. That's just a stupid idea of like and a wrong idea of how to escalate a thing, and I think that's like present throughout this. I think there's a super fun version, Jones, of these things invading, and we play on, oh my gosh, there's this huge alien attack, and everybody is stoked about it. I think there's a really, really fun version of this trailer that could have existed, and instead we got this one that takes itself kind of seriously and is like maybe a little too proud of itself. I still think there's a lot of good to it, and that's where you get it up to a 6.
Yeah, I hate faulting a trailer for being proud of itself. It hurts. It stings a little bit.
Well, if you're so proud of yourself, don't start with a guy throwing the ball to his dog and then bringing it back and getting slime all over his hands. Like that's just wrong. It's just bad.
What do you think? Oh, you already gave it a 6.
Already gave it a 6.
I think if you were to make like a very tiny tweak to this trailer, instead of the guy on the rooftop, maybe like that shot of the ships going in, like you go into his bedroom and you see that like the campaign he's about to do kind of looks like that, and so maybe this is what he was imagining. Or, and I know this sounds crazy, but I'm just basing this off the trailer that I just saw. Like you said, Kyle, I think the comedic thing, like the ships coming in and them all cheering instead of running in fear. But like, let's see the attack, baby. Like let's see how crazy this gets, and then to really jam home what the main vibe I'm getting from this trailer, which is you either get StarCraft or you don't. Like you're either these people who are kind of smiling and like ready for this to happen, or you're one of those dopes running in the street. And so it's just don't hold back. Let's do it. Let's show the true power of this 20, 30-year-old franchise. But yeah, I mean, you first sent this to me, and I was like, oh, big budget, here we go, first episode. But yeah, we are showing that not only are we extremely opinionated here at Trailer Jones, but we really need to understand like what the mission is for a trailer and like what we're supposed to get out of this. And I think the main value is that StarCraft is big, but I kind of knew that. So Kyle is getting more specific with his criticism. I'm, of course, a little more lenient. Bloodworth is a little more analytical. Those are the types of scores you can expect from us. A 6.8 coming at StarCraft Remastered for their We Are Under Attack trailer. I definitely want to illustrate a game I am extremely excited about, but you got to separate that excitement for the game from the excitement that you get from a trailer. So I appreciate you guys being honest. What, Kyle?
I'm just realizing I think it's only attacking Korea. Is that true?
I don't know if I want to get that close.
Okay, because I think
they've already attacked America. They showed up first in America, did the damage, because they're like in the middle of like what, like Arizona or something, or like where, I don't know. It's a big military.
I don't know. The desert.
Where's that desert? You think
America?
Is it like Tunisia or something?
That desert's in Korea. It's all this whole thing takes place in Korea, I think.
And he speaks Korean at the end. We don't get subtitles, so yeah.
I got subtitles. I got something that says the world will never be the same, or is that?
Oh, I didn't get the subtitles. I think I might have subtitles off on YouTube. But we've scored it. You know how we feel. you might feel differently. Odds are, if you are a Starcraft or Blizzard fan and you got a nice chuckle or a smile out of this trailer, you probably feel differently too. We want to hear what you think. Let us know in the comments. And if you are not, we invite you to be a patron of ours on patreon.com/easyallies. Starting today, we'll have a $2 tier called Trailer Jones, where you can submit the trailers that you want us to score on patreon.com and continue the conversation about whether you agree or disagree with some of our previous scores. There will be more to come. We will have a brand new episode next week. Thank you, Mr. Bosman, and thank you, Mr. Bloodworth, for joining me.
Yeah.
And thank you all for watching. See you next time.